Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Vandalia by the Way. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we've got the latest on some exciting new programs being offered through our Vandalia Recreation Center. We've also got the latest on a redevelopment effort taking place at one of our city parks. And we've got the latest information on a road widening project that should make your drive along Dixie Drive a lot easier in the very near future. But our first stop today is here at Stonequarry Crossings, where, as you can see, development efforts are still at an ongoing pace. And as our Assistant City Manager, Greg Shackelford, tells us, there's more development right on the horizon.
Make no mistake, the Stonequarry Crossings development is starting to fill up. In the 8 or so years that the site has been marketed, 4 companies have built there, along with Vandalia's new fire headquarters and the new Morton Middle School. The latest construction project to wrap up is an expansion for Manufactured Assemblies Corporation.
They've picked up some business in the solar industry. Their core business that they've done for years has been fairly steady, but what that means to us is for a while, a period where they were operating with about 75 employees, they're up to 90 now. They'll be up over 100 to 120 in the next 3 to 5 year period, and they basically have put themselves in that position with a 14,000 square foot expansion that they did.
Assistant City Manager Greg Shackelford says the expansion project got a boost from Montgomery County in the form of an EDGE grant, and that MAC may not be done expanding just yet.
This was one of those projects that you look at it and you say, well, at what point does it end? I don't want it to end. You want that to continue. We've got a 3.4 acre option that they looked at here to the east that we made available to them. So essentially they have first right of refusal on the property. They're also looking, they purchased a 1 acre additional lot to the west. And it's just something that I think as time goes on, if they're able to continue, we'll continue to try to use those programs. $50,000 in EDGE might not seem a lot compared to some of the other projects we've done, but to a company like MAC, it means so much.
Along with MAC's project, there are some potential projects headed to Stonequarry Crossings, including a fairly large operation codenamed Project Lakota.
That would be across the street from White Castle on the north side of Capstone Way. We've called that Project Lakota to protect the company's interests, but they're looking at what we thought originally was going to be about a 200,000 square foot facility. That's up to about 270,000 square feet now, and it would be over 100 employees in a 3-year period, probably about 85, 90 right out of the gate.
There's another potential project that's being considered just a few lots south of the Lakota site.
We're calling it Project Horse to the north and the west side of the fire station here on the south side of Fieldstone Way. So it would essentially be across the street from MAC. And that would be 75 employees out of the gate, probably over 100 in a 3-year period. And they're looking at about 12 acres of land. So it's exciting, but you don't want to get your hopes up too high. But this site, again, has been amazing how it sold itself.
And more good news to report, this time from a local company, Vandalia Range and Armory.
They're adding on a couple thousand square feet to the what would be the west side of their facility, and they're up to 25 employees now. Talking to Doug Haig, they could be up over 30 employees in the next few years. So it's been a kind of a quiet secret, quiet in a good way, but not for those folks that are in the shooting business. When they love to get over there, and it's an impressive facility if you haven't been in there.
The economy's recent uptick has a lot to do with companies now choosing to build or grow. Unfortunately, some industries, like the housing sectors, are still feeling the effects of the past year's downturns. Montgomery County Auditor Carl Keith says the county's latest property valuation numbers are out, and for many folks, the news is not great.
For some folks, this could be very distressing. Whenever we do update property values, it can be controversial and emotional for some people, particularly in today's environment. Since the nationwide financial crisis, we've seen property values decline pretty dramatically in Montgomery County. This year, for the county as a whole, values are down 4%. That's $1 billion loss in property value throughout Montgomery County.
The new home values have all been mailed out, which means you should have one now or should be getting one very soon. Now, if you're unhappy with the new value, you do have some options.
And this is an opportunity for them to get their questions answered, to discuss their individual property with one of our representatives one-on-one. They think the value is too high or they think the value is too low. This is their opportunity to come in and talk about that and why they think there should be an adjustment.
If you can't make it into the office or to one of the community meetings planned over the next few weeks, you can also request an adjustment online.
And this is the first time we've offered that as an option. They can actually go on our website. There's a link on our website at www.mcreval.org where they can actually download information and indicate what they think the value should be and actually do an online review. They submit the form, submit their documentation, then someone will be back in touch with them.
He says that even though roughly 60% of Vandalia homes did lose some value over the past 3 years, the news is much worse in other areas of the county.
We're seeing the impact of a nationwide housing crisis, and the urban centers have been the ones that have been impacted the most. So if you look at the cities of Dayton, Trotwood, Harrison Township, Riverside, that's what we consider our urban core, and they're the ones that have really taken the bulk of this hit. So when we're talking about a 4% decline countywide, about 9%, there's about a 9% decline in that urban core. As you move away from that urban core, things have fared better. So when you get into the outer ring communities that we like to refer to them like Vandalia, the results have been less distressful, we'll put it that way. So Vandalia is seeing an overall decrease of about 1.5%. So they're doing much better.
Road crews, meanwhile, are hoping to make your drive along Dixie Drive much better in the next couple of years. Crews are doing road widening work along 2 segments of Dixie Drive that go through Vandalia. Now, Phase 3 of the project is the stretch between Elva Court and Crest Hill.
The contractor should be moving in there in approximately 2 weeks. They will begin some temporary work, some signage and stuff like that. And about the end of August, you will see the traffic switch. All of the traffic will be moved to the west side of the roadway so they can begin building the east half.
Public Service Director Rob Cron says the other stretch being widened is Phase 5, which begins at Benchwood Road and then extends south to Stop 8 Road. That project is also underway.
That is a joint project with Montgomery County and the City of Vandalia. We'll be widening this section of the roadway out to 5 lanes, and it'll be the connecting piece between the city, the township, and the county all the way down to the south.
Cron says the project will take a good while to complete, with the wrap-up taking place in a little more than a year.
This is a pretty large project that's going to continue into next year. The actual completion date of the project is next September of 2015. They'll get as much work as they can done this year, hopefully possibly half of the road done and paved, and get traffic moved over where they can work on the other side.
And while construction crews are preparing the road for more traffic, Vandalia's crime prevention officer is preparing Vandalia's school kids for that first day of school. Officer Doug Nagel says the Passport to Safety program aims to work with every incoming kindergartner in the city.
So what it does is preparing these kids for these new situations that they are going to experience, come up to as far as waiting for the bus, and as well as, you know, what to look for, especially waiting for a bus, you know, strangers, who trusted at all to. If they do have a problem, you know, who they can go talk to. More than just a parent to talk to a police officer. We realize our crossing guards are here, they can talk to them. So it's just preparing them for the new situations they're going to face, as well as getting them a little bit more comfortable with school. As they come in, they get to see some teachers, they get more interested in the atmosphere, and they get just the eases their comfort instead of the first day of school.
The program also gives kids lessons in fire safety and water safety, and even teaches kids how to call 911. He says it's been a very successful program.
It's not just about structure, it's sitting down. We're all about having fun with kids this week. You know, them learning stuff, but keeping them enthusiastic about learning songs, joking around, just having fun and keeping a positive note.
Our next stop today is at the Vandalia Recreation Center, where the mindset is all about the fall and the coming school year. Recreation Supervisor Alicia McCracken says one long-time program, the Punt, Pass, and Kick competition, will see some big changes this year, including its location.
We are going to hold Punt, Pass, and Kick this year at the Butler High School football stadium. on September 19th from 5 to 7. So before a home football game, you can come out, participate in this free event, and then go watch the Aviators play some football.
McCracken says there's no need to pre-register for the event. Just show up, sign up, and you're ready to go.
We're going to have football fever all over that stadium, and so all you've got to do is come out, wear some tennis shoes, punt, pass, and kick one time. Takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can qualify to move on to the sectionals, and then if you're really good, you can make it down to the Cincinnati Bengals game.
From football to basketball, where plans are underway for a clinic targeting elementary school kids just getting into the game.
We've got a kindergarten through 2nd grade basketball camp put on by Pat Carlisle, the varsity Butler boys basketball coach, and his team. We're going to hold that on Saturday, October 25th from 9 to 11 here at the Rec Center. Pre-registration is required for that camp, and we look to have a good time.
By the end of the month, all Vandalia residents will have the fall program guide that will give details on these programs and more.
Fall program guide at the Rec is coming to houses soon. Registration begins August 27th at 7 a.m. You can register here at the front desk, or you're more than welcome to visit VandaliaRecCenter.com and register online. We've got a lot of cool fall programs going on, so check it out.
And while we're checking out the calendar, here are a few more events you should know about. Recreation Supervisor Brittany Lewis says a unique speaker series is planned for the fall, bringing some interesting people and interesting topics to light.
Lonnie Hathaway and Lenny Manza, who were teachers at Vandalia Butler, they're going to be doing the Founding Fathers and Presidents Part 2. That'll be August 28th. On September 26th, we'll have someone doing Harriet Tubman. That'll be at the Senior Center. And then on October 23rd, we'll have Montgomery County Public Health Department coming in to talk about ways you can use their organization, and that's October 23rd.
If you have young children at home, you'll want to circle September the 13th on your calendar, because that's when the annual Touch a Truck event takes place.
This has been going on now. This is our 4th year. FedEx is going to be there. It'll be September 13th from 9:30 to noon. We're going to have a craft table, police, fire trucks, construction vehicles, all kinds of things going on there.
Once again, Touch a Truck is September the 13th from 9:30 in the morning until noon. Now, the very next week, the recreation staff will be busy transforming the gymnasium into a dance hall, as a dance for special needs kids will take place.
It's our 2nd annual adaptive program, Homecoming. It's offered to individuals with special needs at all ability levels. We're going to be able to get their hair and makeup done. Creative Images is donating their time to do the hair, and then some of my staff and local volunteers will be doing makeup.
The dance is Saturday, September the 20th from 7 to 9 at night.
It's just like homecoming. You come to the rec center, we'll have the gym all decorated and set up, and we'll have a DJ and have music going the whole time.
Our last stop today is at the site of Vandalia's new art park, formerly known as Lichtenfels Park. Vice Mayor Candace Farce says the new name reflects a new mission for the facility.
It will be a destination. There's nothing like this in the Montgomery County area, where you will come to one location and see multiple sculptures, have a walking path, and yes, it is a lease program, so annually it will change. So every year we would have a ribbon cutting, new pieces that would come out, and have an area where we can have events and so forth that do celebrate art.
The transformation is more than just changing the name. One of the big changes is a walkway that will connect the park to the neighboring Vandalia Butler Historical Society grounds, a job that required clearing out a lot of trees.
All of the work you see here has been donated. It was 4 full days by R.B. Juergens and their people and their equipment. They offered to clear it for us, and it was much more of a job than I anticipated. They came out with a grinding axe machine that just ground some of these trees. They cleared it out. They took the brush and the trees away. They formed and poured the footers for Vandalia Rotary to come in and build the bridge. They also laid the fabric and the gravel and packed it down, and so it was a tremendous amount of work, and we're very, very grateful for them.
With the pathway open, Vandalia's Rotary Club is getting ready to build a bridge that will span a small creek that runs across the pathway. That project should be completed before the end of the year.
The bridge will be done this year, and we have another Boy Scout project, Eagle Scout project, and I think it'll be done by the end of August. So the bridge is going to be in the next couple of months also. That will do some stone walls on this side of the bridge. And then there's going to be other features. Hopefully we'll put some beds, a Rotary memorial area, maybe with bench and so forth out here. So that's in the future works.
Farr says the Lichtenfels Park location will see a lot more visitors once the art park concept is completed.
Well, we've always heard that. What are you going to do with that park? People have enjoyed it and played, Frisbee and hit some golf balls, and there's still going to be an area up at the front that's going to stay mowed and able to do that. Going back, the other 2/3 of the park are going to have pathways that meander through, so it'll give people an opportunity to walk, exercise. There'll be benches throughout it and different situations where the art is placed, so it'll be a very pleasant area to walk.
The new mission for the park reflects City Council's desire to enhance the experience of living in Vandalia.
It is not only has to do with having art in our city, it has to do with making Vandalia more special and giving us more of a sense of place, making our citizens appreciate our city more.
Councilmember Farss wanted me to be sure to thank R.B. Juergens for the volunteer work that they did in clearing out this site. As you can see behind me, the brush here is fairly thick. R.B. Juergens came in, cleared that all away. They also poured these concrete footers and cleared a path straight through to the new Vandalia Art Park, and they charged Vandalia taxpayers absolutely nothing for their trouble. That's going to do it for this edition of Vandalia By the Way. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.